Everyone, Dave Dubeau here. Welcome to this episode of the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a daily routine like that you consistently do that helps you keep on track, get started on the right foot, and get a win every single day? Well, if you don't, or if yours isn't really up to snuff, then I'm going to recommend that you listen very, very carefully to this week's episode, because my friend, Martin Perdomo, is going to be talking about the importance of your daily routines. Now, Martin is a very accomplished real estate entrepreneur. He's been investing since he was 20 years old, which is when he got his first property. He's a podcast host. He's an award-winning investor. He runs a real estate investment club. And overall, he's a hell of a sharp guy. So, Martin, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that, brother. You gave me more credit than I deserve.
No way, man. All right, Martin. Well, I always love being a guest on your podcast, Latinos in Real Estate. I've got a very deep affection for Latinos, having lived in Latin America for quite a few years myself and having a couple of Latino kids, very near and dear to my heart. So tell us a little bit. You've been in the real estate game for a while. What are your daily routines and why do you find that this is so important for you, and not just you, but for a lot of people that you coach and train as well?
Man, listen, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me, brother. Really appreciate you, Dave, for having me and allowing me to share this. This is near and dear to me and my heart, because if I have to say what's one thing, you've probably read the book, The One Thing.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while, but yes, I have read the book. It's somewhere on my bookshelf.
Yeah. If I have to say what's the one thing that has attributed most to my success is my morning routine, especially the habits, especially my morning routine.
Okay.
And I first discovered, in my studies, studying, and I used to own a restaurant, so I'll share this story. I bought a restaurant in 2000, and when did I buy that restaurant? 2014.
Yeah.
I bought a restaurant, and it was one of those things, Dave, that the minute I signed, I was at the table and I signed, your spirit just tells you this doesn't feel right.
Oh,
it was one of those things. It wasn't right.
Kind of sounds like my first marriage. But anyhow, I digress.
It was one of those things. I bought that restaurant and I signed, and it just didn't feel right. And I hated it. I hated every day I was there. I bought this pizzeria not too far from my office here. And every day I was here, I was there. I just really disliked it. And it was then that I decided, I don't like this, right? And I started really immersing in personal development, right? Like really, really reading, and how did I screw this up so bad? Why did I make this decision? How did I didn't have any, I started looking for clarity. And what I found as I was studying successful people is that successful people, for the most part, have a ritual in the morning, right? And then I went to this Tony Robbins event, UPW, and I kept reading about meditation. And I kept, I was making a lot of mistakes, like a lot of us, right? We make a lot of the same mistakes sometimes over and over, and we keep doing them over and over again. And it's sometimes it's the universe teaching us, hey, when are you going to learn this thing? When are you going to learn this lesson? When are you going to learn this lesson? And it was one of those things. I went to this event and that we did this meditation. We do a couple of meditations. And I was like, this is the universe telling me I need to incorporate this into my daily routine.
Okay.
And that's when I started a daily routine. I got this app. This was in 2016. I got this app. It's called Headspace. I'm not promoting it. I make no money off of it, but I just love it because it tracks it for me. And I actually have it open here. And I also read this book. It's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
Yeah.
Darren Hardy, as you know, talks about the power of the compound effect of doing a little bit every day. And over time, it compounds and gives you tremendous success. And I started meditating for 5 minutes a day. And I'm looking at the app right now. I'm up to 20,878 minutes now, right?
Over all these years.
Yes, because I just do it consistently, 5 minutes a day. I'm only up to 10 minutes a day now, by the way. I only meditate 10 minutes a day. And that's just one of the things that I do in the morning, right?
So walk us through that if you don't mind, Martin.
Yeah.
So because I've tried meditation in the past. It hasn't stuck for me. I've even gone out to a Buddhist shrine and spent weekends there, and I've done hours of this soul crushing meditation stuff. I like the 5-minute idea a lot better. What does that look like for you? It was 5 minutes of meditation.
So the thing about that is what I've learned is if you want to lose weight, right? If someone wants to lose weight, the worst thing a person can do is in January where people set their goals or they set their, what do they call those things?
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, New Year's resolutions. They set their New Year's resolution. And then in January, everyone goes to the gym and they go for an hour a day, an hour and a half, and go hard. And that only lasts for 3 or 4 days or 5 days or a month, maybe at most, because that's not sustainable long term. And the secret is that I found, and it's not, I don't know the answer, right? But I'm sharing with you what has
worked for you.
Yeah. My mind is just as busy as yours, right? But what I found, my secret is that I sit there on the days that my mind is busy. I sit there. This has guided meditation. So it has different types of meditation. Okay. You have guided meditation, semi-guided meditation. You pick, right? And you got starters pack where they just kind of walk you through. You could go as low as 3 minutes, right? And the key is just getting started and not trying to go all the way in an hour. I'm not a monk. I will never be a monk. I'm not going to sit there for an hour.
5 or 10 minutes is doable. That's completely doable.
But I can do 5 minutes, right? And I tell you that some mornings, I can't, like some mornings, my mind is busy. It's thinking about what's next, what's this, what's that. But it's about what it does, the message I sent to my unconscious mind about the discipline of sitting there and letting the mind, if you want to just be loud and think, go ahead. But I'm sitting here with you for 5 minutes, right? And some mornings it feels amazing and the mind is quiet. Some morning the mind's just going. Some mornings I just want quiet, right? Some mornings I don't want the guided. I just shut up and let me be by myself. And those are the best mornings when my mind is actually saying, we don't want no noise. We just want to be us. Just sit here. But that's just one thing, right? So what I've done is, so I've incorporated, that's just one thing. That's the first thing, is the discipline of the mind. I want to master my mind.
Are you getting up at some crazy hour, like 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning?
No, I get up at between 5:45 and 6. That could be early for some, but that's my time. Okay. And my morning ritual, it's about 30-40 minutes, and it didn't start that way. It was just 10 minutes at first, but this is what works for me. I don't start with meditation. I actually start learning something new.
Okay.
Right. So what I do in the morning is I have this app. I'll share it with your listeners. It's called Alux. And it's this, they have this wonderful YouTube channel. I followed them for years before. Then they have this app, and every morning they have a new lesson. Every morning it's a new lesson on life, on what was today's lesson? They just have different lessons every morning, navigating through troubles, and then it's just amazing. So it's 10 minutes, and I start my morning, I brew my coffee, and I sit there and I put something new, motivational, inspirational. I need to learn something new every day. I need to get better every day.
And what was the name of that app again?
It's Alux, ALUX. Look that up. And they have a YouTube channel as well. I'm promoting them. I find so much value in them. It's an amazing experience that I've had with them. And I listen sometimes it's 7 minutes of lessons, but they have really, really good stuff. And so I start usually with that. I have a journal next to me. So as I'm listening and something resonates with me, I write it in my journal, right? So today's lessons, for instance, was don't let your eyes deceive you, right? And I'll just write it in my journal. And I have all these journals that lessons that I heard a quote somewhere. I take it, I document it. I watch a video somewhere, I take it. So this is my intentional learning. I start the learning. From there, I go 10-minute meditation. And then from there, I go to my journal with gratitude, right? So I go to my journal, and my journal, it's a journal that my mentor created. It's called the Elite Journal. And this journal has all, you write all of your goals here. It starts with gratitude. What are the 3 things you're grateful for? What are your top 3 goals for this year? And what are the top 3 things that you can do today to get you closer to those top 3 goals? Right. So everything is just, my morning ritual is extremely intentional. Extremely, extremely intentional. Right.
Love it. Yep.
So, and then from there, so I sit there with that. for that takes me about 10 minutes to do that. Plan my day. So here I'm planning my day. I'm grateful for my health. Oh, I'm always grateful for my health. I always start with that because without our health, we got nothing. I'm always grateful for my excellent health. I'm blessed. I'm 44 years old. I don't take any medication. I know people my age that are taking blood pressure pills and all kinds of craziness. And Latinos, we like to eat. We like to eat good food. Sometimes it's not the healthiest of food. And I'm blessed that I don't have to do that. And going back to and then in that book, in that journal, it has all of the daily habits from the compound effect. He actually modeled it from Darren Hardy. All of the daily habits that will compound over time that'll get me closer to my goals, right? So once I'm done with that, then I have another app I open for another 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. And this app is it's an app called Elevate.
Okay.
So now I train my mind, right? I've trained, now I'm getting focused on my goals. I've learned something new, and then I wrap it up with now improving my cognitive ability. And this app, Elevate, it just gives me random games I play, and it's to improve my reading speed, my math skills. It just keeps me sharp.
And sounds kind of like fun too.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty fun. It only takes 5 or 6 minutes. It gives you 6 different games, and you see what percentile you're scoring for your age group and how you're doing, and it accumulates your time. So I'm being very intentional. So I'm working on my cognitive ability, because as a business owner, as a real estate investor, as a podcaster, and everything else I do, I need to be mentally sharp. Mm-hmm. I need to be able to lead my people. I need to be able to look at a P&L and identify those numbers quickly. I need to be able to look at a deal and see if it's a good deal. And I have to constantly be working on myself to constantly be getting better. My mantra is, if I get 1% better every week, I'm not looking for that. I'm not like that person that's looking to lose 50 pounds in 2 months. I don't want that. I want to lose half a pound a week. Hmm. I want the little wins, because those little wins over time compound to a big. If I can get 1%, my goal is to get 1%. And I write this every week in my goals, right? What's the outcome I want for my week? Is if I can get 1% better every single week, Dave, every single week, in a year, I'm 52% better. Do you realize how big of an improvement that is in a year?
That's huge.
And guess what? A year is going to go by anyways. Might as well spend 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, just getting a little bit better.
Yeah,
just a little bit better. Smart. Right? And that's my strategy. And then lastly, right when I'm done with Elevate, I'll get down and I commit to 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 sit-ups every single day.
Wow, that's another fantastic idea. Hold on to that thought for a sec. We'll be right back. Now, are you a real estate investor who's run out of cash or credit to grow your portfolio? Are you looking to grow your portfolio using other people's money and raising capital? Well, I want to show you how to raise 6 figures or more in 6 weeks or less at my upcoming Investor Attraction Workshop. You can get your ticket and find out all about it at investorattractionworkshop.com. We're going to spend a full day taking a deep dive into this roadmap that I've used to raise millions for my deals, and I've helped other people just like you cumulatively raise hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars for their deals as well. So again, you can check that out at investorattractionworkshop.com. And as a loyal listener to the podcast, you'll get 50% off your ticket when you use the discount code podcast. That's right, discount code podcast at investorattractionworkshop.com. See you at the next workshop. Nice.
And so now I've trained my mind. I've quieted my mind. I've learned something new, and I've trained my body.
Very nice.
Now I'm ready.
Ready, smart, and buff. Love it.
Now I'm ready to go. So for me, what I've learned is that my morning, and here's the thing, when I don't, and there's one thing, when I don't do, so when I'm on vacation, right? So let's say I'm on a resort with my wife, we're going to Mexico in a few weeks here for family vacation. I'm probably not going to be able to do all of these things when I'm on vacation. I'm relaxed. But there's one thing for sure I'm going to do. There's one thing for sure I'm going to do.
Which one?
That's going to be meditate.
Nice. Yeah.
When I don't meditate, it's really weird, right? It's really weird. It's almost like I'm outside of myself, and I don't feel like I'm in control of myself. It just reflects. It shows. It just shows. I'm quick. I'm quick off. I'm quick off the trigger. I'm kind of short. I'm not as even keel. I've noticed. My wife notices too, right? Our wives are the ones that know us the most, the best.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not as level-headed when I don't don't meditate. So that's one thing that I absolutely do, because I know it's good for me and for those around me too, right?
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Martin, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing your morning routine. How has that transformed your life and your business and your real estate investing since you started doing this in, let's say, 2016? I think you said.
That's a great question, by the way. Excellent question. The biggest thing, and I was just talking about this with my wife not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. The biggest thing I've noticed from when I started to where I am today is my ability. I can see certain things, and I believe, and I don't know this to be a fact. Of course, now I'm just kind of self-analyzing. I can see certain things coming down that others can't. Right? Like I can sit and look at a situation and say, okay, if I do this and this, they will have this and this and this impact. I can, like, that type of thinking has been a newly acquired thinking that I have acquired through this discipline of this compound effect, because I've seen it, right? And what is done, how things, when you do them every day a little bit, it compounds and makes you better. Mm-hmm. And now I can see it. I see things wide. So I'll give you an example. I recently had to let someone go on my team, right?
Never anything. Yep.
Yeah, I recently had to let someone go on my team. This person has been with me for a while, and I used to have a boss, a mentor, that used to tell me, production doesn't cure all sins, doesn't forgive all sins, right? Just because someone's producing doesn't mean that they get to do whatever they want. It doesn't work that way. And this particular person had made a really bad decision, right? Really bad decision, took a deal and used all of our resources, and then went and listed it outside of the company and listed it with one of my competitors on top of that.
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah. And that's a non-forgivable sin, right? You're out, right? That's a non-forgivable sin. And he's not a bad guy. And when I sat down with him, he was very combative at first. And when I sat down with him and I explained it to him, I was able to see this, but he wasn't able to see how his decisions were impacting the long game, how it would impact everything else. It's like I have now, my prefrontal cortex have developed. Now your prefrontal cortex is the part in your brain that allows you to see steps ahead, that matures your brain and allows you to have discipline, to see cause and effect. And that's the difference within teenagers and children, right? They don't have their prefrontal cortex developed, so they make what we call silly decisions, right? Not the smartest decisions. They just make decisions without thinking. And after talking to him, I was like, dude, you don't like, did you not see this whole picture? And he almost started crying in my office because he really couldn't see it. Right? He really didn't think
he couldn't grasp it.
Thing. Yeah, didn't think the whole thing through. So if it's had one impact in my life, it's given me that, I'm going to say that maturity, or that ability to kind of look at things from different perspective. It's also opened up my mind. It's also allowed me to have a curious mind. I'm like, you come on my podcast and I'm really curious and I'm really, really interested in learning about because I can learn from it. I've developed that skill, because that's a skill, to want to learn from everyone. I was at the Walmart, and I'll share this last story. I was at the Walmart this Sunday with my wife. We were food shopping. My wife hates Walmart, by the way, but I was like, let's just go there. Let's not go to BJ's. Yeah. It's just closer. And I had this wonderful experience. This little older lady was ringing us up. She was in her 70s. And me being who I am, I just started engaging the little lady. And, hey, how are you? And she started telling me all these things. And I learned so much. She's a Pennsylvania Dutch, and how her father would speak Dutch. And I learned so much from just taking the time, from just talking to this other human being.
Nice.
Like just engaging this other human being. And I one last thing, I found that the people I learned from the most are the people I least expect to learn from the most. When I travel, my wife and I love to travel. When we're in a foreign country and we get in a cab, those are the people I've learned from the absolute most.
Yeah.
Because I just start talking to them about their culture, their people. And what I find is that with this curiosity that I've developed, what I find is that we're so much more alike than we are different. You know that, spending some time in Costa Rica, we're so much more alike as human beings than we are different. And I just love it. I mean, these are some of the things that have opened up for me through my morning ritual.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Martin. I really appreciate that. And if people want to find out more about you, connect with you, learn more from you, what should they do?
Yeah, so you can go to, just check out my podcast, Latinos in Real Estate Investing Podcast. We have you can go to my group. I have a Epic Real Estate Investors on Facebook. It's a private Facebook group. Ask to join. I'm constantly there. You can also follow me on Instagram, the Elite Strategist, and you can look me up on Facebook, and I'll connect with you, talk to you. And I'm always posting content, posting videos, and I love this stuff. Thank you so much, Dave, for allowing me to share this stuff and allowing me to get this message out to people. And for taking the time just to listen to my story and listen to what I have to say about this.
Fascinating story. Thank you for sharing. All right, my friend, appreciate it. And everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode. Well, hey there. Thanks for tuning into the Property Profits Podcast. If you like this episode, that's great. Please go ahead and subscribe on iTunes. Give us a good review. That'd be awesome. I appreciate that. And if you're looking to attract investors and raise capital for your deals, then I'm going to invite you to get a complimentary copy of my newest book, right back there. There it is. The Money Partner Formula. You can get a PDF version at investorattractionbook.com. Again, investorattractionbook.com. Take care.